Hello and welcome back to Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader. We're continuing our Lord Pirate Criminal Rogue Trader Early Access Alpha version playthrough. I'm Shadowcoast and welcome to the channel. I am still recovering from a lingering cold, so I might go on mute to try to save your eardrums. So you have been forewarned. Let's get back to it. We had to travel back to Janus because to activate projects on colonies, you have to physically be there to click and then execute. We can't do it from our colony manager here, which is super unfortunate. I also understand why they might do it that way. We know that the warp is roiling, out of control, disrupting communication, flight paths, and information. So maybe that's intentional. I, I, we're gonna go to Auxilio Prophecy. We're gonna reduce this by 1, and then warp here. And then we might go to the Frozen Prince over there. We don't know where Kiavagama is or Dragonis. What is this? Oh boy. In the last episode, we had some shenanigans with Adira, so there's more shenanigans aboard. I really like how they do this, where like the ship is its own instance where things go on. I love it. Abelard. The everyday sounds of the bridge are disrupted by voices raised in anger. Abelard voiced the loudest of all. This is not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a highborn brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. A real event. The young woman standing before Abelard strives with all her might not to quail under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, I apologize, sir, but I must speak with the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence towards a higher-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avrilla Vent requesting permission to speak. Vent falls silent and adds rashly, on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. Alright, well, again, the way we're playing this is we're really people-focused, helping the average citizen, and we invest in our people. We're trying to make sure we keep as many people on our side as possible. So we're going to go with option 1 because that's kind of the nicest. I will listen to what you have to say. Speak, Lieutenant. This matter cannot wait any minute now, and a assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I am convinced that this step is unwarranted and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. But is almost trembling with tension as she delivers her speech, her face extremely pale. Abelard, in no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Wessarian and intervene in what's happening on the lower decks because very soon we will have a mutiny or massacre on our hands. We've already staved off multiple massacres. Why not again? Vent reels off the last words as though she knows them by heart. She has clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an ancient glance at Abelard, then at you. How did this all start? A situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you a condensed version. It all began when the guards found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up the chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No pirates have been found alive, but the searches brought tensions between guards and workers to a head. Where does Seneschal Wessarian come into all this? I shall explain. Sorry, excuse me. Alright. Abelard intones grimly. I beg you to hurry. Time is running out. I will not hurry. Since my competence is under scrutiny, I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There's an established order to the way things are done on the ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I have always handled internal problems myself, so, of course, when I received information about pirates hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valentius will find refuge on her ship. That's fair. You were far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Wessarian. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors. That have driven the people to the brink. Ben says bitterly. Now there is a strike on the lower decks in Depot 4 to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection. But when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. Abelard, what do you have to say to all this? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your trade empire and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. For my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks to stop the assault unit and speak directly to the people. You will see they are not lying or harboring pirates. That way, you will stop the uprising before it begins. What is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sections of the lower deck. It is home to clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served in specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable resource, and one which is now more besides giving succor to pirates and minions of the arch enemy. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at the worst that means drunken fights and illegal rock gut brewing. We have handled the workers at Depot 4 in the past, or you would have done so again if the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. Another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to this sector. It is located in one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect on all neighboring sectors. Alright. Okay, we're gonna invest in our people, trust but verify. I am certain the Seneschal was acting within his authority, but I will verify the soundness of his decision myself. Throw and preserve you, Lord Captain, and thank you for your support. Abelard grits his teeth slightly. An enterprise bordering on sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Okay. Okay. We're gonna hold off on Nadira. Jay's good, but I'm not as stoked about her. This is awesome. We're finding random ships in the void, managing our ship.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Greetings, Your Grace. Hey, Swarsurian, take that scum. Oh boy. You have good toughness. Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startling human gesture and a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and wariness to show through his armored-like veneer of self-assurance. Lower deck stars... Excuse me. Lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Did you hear they were shouting your name? Of course they are. The organization of the daily routine life of the ship rests on my shoulders. The amount of challenges and problems from which I endeavor to insulate you, Lord Captain. The situation on the lower decks has been a cause for concern, and I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. That must be why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them, you are akin to a creature of legend. No one has stood on the steps of the Golden Throne, no less. Whereas I am the man whose name is attached to every order docking rations or lowering a base heating. Let's keep moving. We need to get to the bottom of this.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Alright, let's open this up. Something resembling a nest made of thermal insulation material that must where the worker be where the workers sleep between shifts. Lower deck rabble. I love it.
Follow my lead.
Can we not? We can't turn the valve. Alright, we can't turn the valve, that's okay.
None shall stand in my way.
Can we turn that valve? Can we turn lower deck rabble? Okay, before we go over there, let's Alright, and you are here also, Sea Master Von Calyx. The sounds of the heated discussion reverberate through the ship's bay. Lieutenant of Real Event of the ship's guard is barring the path of heavily built assault unit officer, and judging by their expression and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already and has now reached a boiling point. I have my orders to put an end to the unrest and purge this sector. You can take your orders and shove them. This is my deck and my sector. There are only 3 people who can waltz in here without my express permission. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So, not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Abelard mutters in a crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he means Lieutenant Vent, the officer looming over her, or both. Your Lordship, noticing you, the 2 junior officers snap to attention and salute their subordinates, following suit a moment later. What's the situation? Your Lordship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. I want to speak to the strikers. Abelard mouth twists, but he restrains himself and says nothing. Right you are, Lord Captain. Allow me to wish you good luck. Hope gleams in Lieutenant Vent's eyes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where are you guys going? Okay. You're gonna protect your Lord, Rogue Trader. I'm kinda... Dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. The people before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, and faces that display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to the strange to the outright grotesque. The guards have tormented us enough. I won't stand for it anymore. Alright. A whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reaction. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd. An elderly woman and 2 men. These must be the leaders. They bow clumsily before you. Lord Captain, you have come down to us. Tell me what is troubling you. Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, Your Grace, says a tall, thin man. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, beanpole, snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes on you. Here's the deal, Your Grace. Your damn guards are all over us down here. They say they're looking for pirates. One wrong word and they're reaching for their batons. They want to punish someone. They turn off the heating to hold base for a week at a time so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those guards. The old woman spits on the floor and rubs at the spittle with the toe of her worn shoe. Jenna does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths were mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer, makes a sign over herself. It's all true. Vent is the only guard officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidship and has no fellow feeling towards us. A grim man with a scarred face throws up his arms. Your Grace, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. Persecuting starting a propose of nothing you say. I was told that one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and that there are pirates hiding here. A cultist amulet? What's that? The gew god they found on the dead drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The guards just said they were looking for pirates among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be pirates here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Definitely not, and if there were, we'd be the first to report them. And as for this amulet or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There were no pirates still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. When that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody's ever tread these decks in boots so fine, I can tell you that. Seems to me these pirates have better commanders than us. Oh yeah, those boots really were fine. There was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor. And when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers in the servo motor. Same way my grandfather was taught by 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling. Believe us, Your Grace, we are people of faith. I can confirm the information regarding the proper tending of machine spirits in the sector. Scriptures indicate that these commoners are performing the sacraments they are permitted to know. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age about the dangers of the Arcanemy creations? Were you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I had my third little one. That is regrettable. You cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors? Abelard, do you have anything to add? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos Worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Abelard frowned, clearly disgruntled at having to explain himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I am certain their actions were justified. Heretic pirates are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive actions. We were attacked on the way down here. How do you explain that? Here's the explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limit and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why these top decks units are sent down here, like the one there that the lieutenant won't let pass. Our clans are all inside the bay that's been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people who just had enough. We're getting it up from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. A death squad just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. Awareness check succeeded. The words seem sincere to you. Their body language and the glances traded between them reveal that the news of the attack has shocked them. What changes do you want? When you look at this, the exalted Lord Captain himself is asking a bilge rat what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damn guards, to quit turning off the heat, and to stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the guards gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms, and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these pirates do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. You've gone too far, old Nan. They'll never let the maggots on the lower decks live without the guards breathing down their necks. They probably even assist on guards on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the guards stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the pirate's body, and we'll talk to them, one lower decker to another. If there are any more of those damn amulets about, we'll hand them over to the guards ourselves. You speak for yourself and your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures, I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the Anointed One turns his back, these roots will be on us even harder than before, all because we dared to speak out. The tall worker's eyes dark between the two arguing leaders. Every few seconds, he opens his mouth as if planning to agree, but each time he falls silent, simply making vague noises of approval. Alright, thoughts, Abelard? The story about scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet doesn't convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the arch-enemy. We must not give them what they want, even if they did acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity. That does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. What begins as petty thievery can turn into a far graver problem. I've seen it before. Abelard's face darkens momentarily. In my second war, there was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard regiment that was stationed nearby. The sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic. His whole unit lost their lives for it. When they finally managed to break into the barracks, they found not a single survivor. Only the pocket knife, which was growing through all the rows of bed like a metal choking wire. So when it comes to scavenger, malcontent, strikers, whatever they'll turn into next, my verdict is simple. Give them no quarter. Alright, we're going to do coercion. Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons into the untrained hands would be even worse. Much more the guards are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands and we'll consider the rest. Coercion failed. The tall worker they call Beanpole flinches nervously under your gaze, but he casts a glance at the old woman. I don't like seeing the clans of Deep before at odds with each other, but I agree with the Lord Captain. I won't demand the disbanding of the guard. Go home and hands cut through. I'd rather be gunned down by the guards than back down now. They'll have us all killed anyways. We are gonna do. We're gonna stick to our guns. That's our decision. We're not gonna arm them. Then it's decided the harassment will end. I will expect the clans who have agreed here to assist in locating pirate amulets and weapons. Anyone who refuses will be punished. The old woman faces pale, but she merely grits her teeth and spits on the floor again. Sorry, old Nan, I'm not putting my life and my whole clan's lives on the line because of your stubbornness. We are the most eager to assist. We'll be right to it, Lord Captain. Good old beanpole. Can we...
It's about time.
I guess we can still walk around.
Attention to detail is the key to success.
Page where the start of each shift is marked. The last marking is missing. The workers went on strike. The gauge shows the steam pressure.
Follow my lead.
I mean, I don't know if we... We're gonna do some exploring. What's this? Primitive tools. I mean, we're on the ship already. Heat sinks warming the air around. Nothing happening. Perhaps turning a different valve will work. Do we have like a valve mystery going
I
on?
won't tolerate weakness.
Where's that?
None shall stand in my way.
Holy writings. Inside the box, there's a string of scratched letters running around. Different first names with the same surname. It looks like this box has been passed down from family to family, generation to generation.
Victory awaits.
I am... Clearly something's over there.
A new challenge for me.
Huge pipes run through the arteries.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Okay.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Alright, there's maybe an order, but it's like keeping the order.
None shall
I'm very
stand in
curious.
my
Let's...
way.
There's clearly some order, so luckily it doesn't reset.
Sometimes you
Oh
consult
boy.
the appropriate treaties on Tactica Imperialis and weigh every step. Sometimes, though, you just fire your biggest cannon and save the day.
Motor charges.
Follow my lead.
Oh,
Victory awaits.
do we not have...
What advice do you seek?
Alright, I don't know.
A new challenge for me?
I feel like we're probably wasting time with this valve situation. But alright, well, where's the door? We're gonna head out. I think we resolve up. Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at a distance and addresses your other companions, saying, "I have an urgent matter to discuss with Lord Captain. Please give us a moment." In the attack, Abelard turns his gaze to you, and his last vestige of restraint vanishes. "Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtow to the disloyal rabble, you believe their lies and show them leniency. Next time the ship is attacked by pirates, that rabble will welcome them in with open arms and will allow them to wreak whatever havoc you like because they see you as a weak leader. Is this how you see the future at the helm of the Von Valencia Trade Empire?" There is some truth to your criticism. I should say so. Abelard heaves a sigh, but is visibly relaxed. You simply needed to trust me. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene, Abelard says irascibly. Remember Lord Captain Theodora? Do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters are left to myself and the junior officers while she dedicated herself to her grand designs for the trade empire, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. So I like this first one. Alright, maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There's a new Lord Captain aboard the ship now, and I will not repeat her mistake. Abelard looks at you stunned and exhales loudly, then he nods curtly. I commend your decisiveness, but I am uncomfortable with introducing new protocols in the midst of a crisis. And Abelard stands straight at attention. I lost my temper, Lord Captain, and I believe I ought to explain myself. Abelard speaks slowly, the words not coming easily to him. The prosperity of the Von Valencius Empire is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in Lord Captain Theodore's deeds the specter of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. They create impulse. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I had come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concern she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire trade empire rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you to find our footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out on the ship's regulations. Procedures that were established long ago and that have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. Alright, let's see. We're gonna push him. Theodore trusted in established procedures, and she died. I won't make the same mistake. If you want to keep building the future of the Von Valencius Empire with me, stop living in the past. Abelard solemnly inclines his head. Yes, Lord Captain. After a moment's silence, he adds, looking at your interest, your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember this moment should my old habits ever begin to creep back. And now, please let us leave this lower deck if the rogue trader desires to stretch his legs. There are far more suitable places. Dark echelons. See what the situation. Okay, dark echelons. Where? Show completed. Ah, Echo of the Past. Okay, so this was a Deer's Companion quest which we completed. Dark Echelon was kind of a companion quest. Okay. I do. Oh wait. Okay, we're good. I do trust you, Abelard. You're my man, but in this playthrough with this character, our entire backstory, was kind of predicated on us helping people. That's why we were kind of the pirate for the average Imperial citizen. I understand the process for the vastness of time, or vastness of the Empire, why you need to, for Imperium, why you need to be stringent. Burning World, Jungle World, Arid World, no Dragonis or Kiavagama. Um, let's go ahead. What? I can't rotate anything here. Begin scan, Jungle World. It appears that a large Voidship recently dumped a huge load of junk and faulty parts from overhead. The debris that did not burn up in the atmosphere are now blocking the flow of a mighty river. This dam is causing the river to overflow, flooding the nearby valley. Here, large hoofed rodents has gathered along the riverbanks. If the animals lose their usual habitat, they are doomed. Alright, we order the removal of the space debris from the riverbed as it's a long and laborious process, but the animals have a chance to survive. Increased amount of organics on the planet. Um, It takes many days and hundreds of crew members to remove the heaps of trash and unclog the river, letting the water flow freely once more. The rodents run back to the pastures without so much as a backwards glance. Provisions? Heck yes. Let's get some provisions rolling. Um, do we see how producing 10? Fantastic. Burning World. No resources. Okay. And I'm just gonna tab real quick. We have a little more time left. Promethium. Yes, we need Promethium. How do we... Is there like a way to see production? Or is it just the number we're producing, I think, maybe? And then some of it will go to different things? Where are we, by the way? Okay. Oh, there's question marks. Okay, I sincerely don't know where to go. You keep coming up here, but I'm like, would it be in this area, maybe? Emperor's Palm. Oh. It's gonna take time, which is... The criticality of the warp voyages was disturbed by a report of frightening sounds and visions that descend the ship, left hostile element... Ooh. Your Grace, there are alarming reports coming from Janus. A number of strange mutations have been spotted among the population in remote agri complexes. Aside from the obvious disfigurement and the subsequent estrangement, these mutants, called wretches by the wretches of the colonies, are coming together to practice a primitive form of religion involving ritual worship of the land. They display no disobedience or hostility. Their very existence is concerning. The mysterious advisors you have appointed to oversee the planet showed unexpected interest in the mutants' vulgar religious practices. Recommend to not persecute the wretches, but to observe them. Remember, the Adeptus Biologist has tasked you with healing. Janus found the mutation to be missing from the catalog and recommend studying it, not eradicating it like the lay people would. Alright, what do we know about these wretches? Their mutations cause the loss of skin pigment and the shedding of hair. The eyes of some have started developing nictitating membranes similar to that of reptiles. Others succumb to progressive atrophy of the larynx, causing the loss of human speech. At the same time, their tendons become denser and more elastic, providing increased endurance and load resistance. Wretches are commonly ostracized due to their grotesque appearance. There haven't been too many cases of mob justice yet. They will become commonplace after the mutation deformities become more obvious. Wretches tend to form groups with similarly afflicted people. Their average level of intellect is low. They all belong to the labor caste and communicate among themselves using a primitive vernacular of their own invention. Alright. As for the barbaric religion, they are defying both the soil and Janus itself. What do my advisors have to say? Such mutations are common. Common genetic composition is less stable than the upper strata. Um, I take these unfortunate souls under my protection. They are victim of mutations, not demons. Alright, we're gonna help them. Long live the Von Valencius dynasty. Mutants were put under surveillance. One of the wardens spotted a mysterious relic in the hands of the group of wretches that turned out to be an item of Xeno origin. It's unlikely the mutants understand the nature of the object they worship. Having to live in proximity to wretches disturbs the good, honest serfs and leads to outbursts of aggression and violence. Item received. Heart of the Nameless. Okay. Real quick. Bow pistol. Heart of the Nameless. This item increases absorption against Xenos enemies by 10%. Good to know. The Reaping. Oh, wait. Okay. We don't have a cure for sloth. Efficiency all colonies. Yes. We are traveling back to upgrade our colonies. A fire broke out on one of the decks during the warp voyage. The raging disaster consumed the entire... I don't know if this is good to go back. We probably should have just kept going up, but it is what it is. A fire broke out on one of the decks during the warp voyage. The raging disaster consumed the entire chamber, destroying precious cargo and damaging the interior plating. No guilty parties were found while clearing out the rubble. A few people claimed the soot on the plasto beams formed lines in a cryptic alien language unknown to humans, so delirious workers were executed and their bodies disposed of in the proper manner. Alright, let's go to Foulstone. Alright. We didn't do our homework. We can't start any of these. 9 chemicals. What do we have? 5. Son of a gun. Alright, we're gonna go to Omicron. Warp jump past without incident for everyone except the crew members on bridge duty. For the duration of the voyage, they heard laughter. Seemed to come from outside. Okay. Dead world, mine world, savannah world. So, mistake, nothing here. I think we should have probably kept going up, but it is what it is. We should have done a better sweeping. No resources. Dead world, I don't expect much there. Have some minor damage from that. Ooh, what's this? The ruins of an ancient imperial city were discovered on a dead world completely deprived of an ecosystem. According to the reports, the entire seminole is contained in a titanic glass dome that once held an artificial atmosphere. The augurs detected the framework of 3 other similar structures that were never completed. The dome system failed for whatever reason, so you now are looking at a ghost city that never managed to become a proper colony to the Imperium. I would send out a crew. Temple District was situated at the heart of the city. The God Emperor statue, intricately carved from precious crystals, hovering under the dome, supported by chains of gold, and can be seen from anywhere in the colony. Inspired by the majestic sight, the expedition members set to explore with renewed fervor and told many tales about the Emperor watching them from above after they returned. Alright, gather as many supplies as possible. Blessed bolter casing. Your people overran the city like a tidal wave, filled the building after building, bunkhouse after bunkhouse, retreated from the quiet streets just as quickly. The city won't need it anymore. Drain it. Take several trips to deliver the massive Promethean sword tanks to your vessel. Uniform. Alright. Explore the local palace. Alright. Lavishly decorated local ruler. That's good. Thank you. So. I think Argenta might get that one. We shall see. Got like a lot of items and stuff. Can spread the wealth based off our characters. Alright, I think we're provisions, people producing 5. Alright, we're gonna travel to one more world and then we're gonna call it. Where are we, by the way? While traveling through the materium, the crew on duty and loading bay 7 heard what sounded like a hissing of a giant snake. The terrified workers sent a Vox message, then locked themselves in a shipping container. Alright. Luckily, nothing truly bad appeared to happen. Starship remains. Unknown ships. Well, son of a gun. That was a wasted endeavor. Adamantium. Alright, let's see if this triggers a space battle. Oh. Alright, Xenotech, what is this? Jungle World, we can land and check something out. We're taking some damage on our ship. We need to repair. What's this? Alright. Hold on. Can we collect all? Okay, we're not collecting the crap. We're collecting the good stuff. I want to go to the jungle world. But I also want to know what's over here, so we're going to check this out first. Report shows up on the Rogue Trader's personal cogitator screen. Unknown ships are towing the interstellar Sexton, a cargo ship belonging to one of the Footfall's wealthiest traders. Looks like the pirates have bitten off more than they can chew and are now forced to drag the ship to a more secluded place. Alright. As soon as they see the escort ships charge into battle at once while the captive Sexton powers up its warp engines. Unless the Rogue Trader interrupts the preparation for the jump, the cargo ship will forever vanish. Alright. Finally some action.
The chains of fate can lead us to victory.
Do we...
This one's going down. Leave the hull strewn across the stars.
Alright, what is this? Torpedo control?
Annihilate them.
Alright, we can't...
Fire right now.
Alright, we want the starboard right side. Alright, glad we gained some moves, that's exciting. Oh no. Can we not? Don't tell me we're bugged. I know. You don't need to move though. Alright, well I guess we are... I don't know why we have to fully move. Haven't... Oh. Alright, why don't you...
Lay in the course. Fire the lance batteries.
Oh wow, nice. Wait, what is happening? We have another one? Okay. We're gonna focus their main ship down.
Leave their hull strewn across the stars. Set the course.
Miss. That's gonna screw up your direction. not. Oh, boo.
Torpedoes locked.
Allows control the nearest torpedo salvo launched. Other turn to move it. Let's go front. Ow.
Macro cannons firing.
Oh, we should have.
Leave their hull strewn across the stars. Fire right now.
We're gonna.
Bleed them.
Really trying to lean into this guy. Nice. Alright, they just have more guys coming in, I see. So we need to, like, wrap this up quick.
The machine spirit of the void shield array no longer protects us.
Okay. Nope, that's not. Ah, I screwed that up. Well, son of a gun.
Macro cannons firing. Fire right now. Unleash our vengeful salvo. This one's going down. Macro cannons volley.
Alright, let's.
Lay in the course.
I mean, I don't like how we can't, like, give up the movement points. I'm not sure why. No friendly fire. That would have been nice.
Fire right now. Macro cannons volley. Set the course.
Alright, let's try to hit this guy.
Onward.
Alright, we definitely hurt him. Yeah, the introduction of the new ships are troublesome, but I think when we blow up this guy, we should be in better shape. Let's see.
Lay in the course.
Alright, let's target weakness.
Onward.
Oh no, oh crap.
Fire right now!
And so it will be with anyone who stands in our way.
Annihilate them!
Alright, the battle is over.
On Phalancia
Did we... What happened? Starship remains for each sector. Yes, please. I don't know about that, but collect all. All right, I think we got it. We're gonna call this an episode. Thank you so much for watching. We are gonna head down to the planet. I like my lineup here. Greetings, Lord Captain. The certain mechanical parts produced quit wearing interrupted by clicking. Alright. We are gonna pick up the Lost Planet, the Jungle Planet. I forgot what it was. But we're gonna pick this up in the next episode. If you're enjoying watching this playthrough, please be sure to drop a thumbs up and comment. And if you have any interest in supporting the channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you in a future video. Shadowcoast out.